Thank you very much, Scott. What a pleasure to be here. What a great day we've been provided for this monumental announcement. Quick anecdote, my wife and I's second date was to attend a race here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. We've now been married 43 years, so something must have worked. So welcome to the eve of a historic date here at the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. May 18th. Very important day in the history of this track. May 18th, 1947 to be exact, the Speedway opened with a dirt modified race promoted by none other than Bill France. Today we're here 75 years later hosting North Carolina's Governor Roy Cooper and state officials as a bright future for this facility unfolds before our very eyes. Please allow me to introduce our special guest today. Of course, we've already mentioned it. He is the governor of the great state of North Carolina, the 75th governor to be exact, Roy Cooper. Great to have you here today, Governor. Also in attendance today, North Carolina Chief Deputy Secretary at the Department of Commerce, Jordan Witcher. Jordan, thank you for being here. We have with us the Secretary of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, Reed Wilson. Thank you, Reed. And of course, the President and CEO of Speedway Motorsports, as well as 10 other motorsports facilities, and one of the driving people behind this Speedway revival, Marcus Smith. Marcus? And over here to my left, some folks that probably don't need to be introduced, but we'll do it anyway. NASCAR Hall of Famer, Chairman and CEO of Richard Childress Racing, Richard Childress. Richard, it's been a while since Richard's been up here, so good to see him back here. 18-time Cup Series winner and North Carolina's own, just a stone's throw down the road, handsome Harry Gant. Also among our guests today, we'd like to recognize the state representative for North Carolina's 94th district, and that includes Wilkes County, Jeffrey Elmore. And also, as Scott Cooper pointed out, many city and county officials and dignitaries have joined us today. Thanks for being here, but most of all, thanks for your hard work and your dedication to get us closer to the realization of bringing North Wilkesboro Speedway back to life today. Would also like to introduce Barry Braun, the CEO of XR Events. Barry's company will produce Racetrack Revival, a 2-month grassroots racing event at the Speedway this year, and that comes up in August and October. Barry, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Barry and the new Executive Director of North Wilkesboro Speedway, Craig Hoffman. Craig, where are you? Back over here? He's a big guy. It's easy to spot. He will host a public open house tomorrow from 5 to 8 to celebrate 75 years since the official opening of this racetrack. Fans can walk the track, see the show cars, and of course they can buy some merchandise and purchase tickets to Racetrack Revival events later on this year. Now please welcome to the podium CEO and President of Speedway Motorsports, Marcus Smith. Marcus, it's all yours.
Thank you, Doug. Well, welcome everybody. It is so fantastic to be here. It's a busy time in the NASCAR schedule. Next week is the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte, and there's no place I'd rather be today, though, than right here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I've been so excited about this event today, about welcoming the governor and all of you here back to North Wilkesboro Speedway, that I didn't read the notes that Scott Cooper gave me. Thank you, Scott. I did glance at them, but so I'm going to speak from the heart. So, I want to tell you, as I was driving up to come to the event today, I saw the billboard that said, "We want you back, North Wilkesboro Speedway," and that was a message from the community. It was just the culmination of a lot of effort, a lot of love, a lot of attention that went into bringing North Wilkesboro Speedway back. And then now I get to see the banner to my left, "We got you back to North Wilkesboro Speedway." And it's just a real testament to what happens with a fantastic community, amazing history, the right support that we got from all of you, all of our racing family, and of course from the governor's office. What a special thing. It doesn't happen very often It's really hard to put this into a formula, but sometimes things come together just right, and special things happen. Maybe 2 years ago, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and I were on an airplane, and he said, would you be interested in putting North Wilkesboro Speedway in the virtual world of iRacing, this worldwide internet type simulator racing? And Dale's really involved in that, and I said, sure, no problem. And so it wasn't that easy. We had to come out here in December, a really cold day. We cleaned up the track. We had so many volunteers, a lot of volunteer firemen, lots of local community help that make that happen. But that day, and then the podcast that went around the world, that people heard, they were putting some effort and attention into North Wilkesboro. It all just snowballed, and then the efforts from the community, so many great things came together from that event with Dale and I. So a lot of credit to Dale Jr. for all his support in making this happen. And then when you think about this community, I think about Terry Parsons and all the help that she has been, and the encouragement, and all of you, names that if I start going down the list, I'll miss somebody and I feel terrible. So, but it's just an amazing community event. And then, and I want to get to you, to tell you how we got here today. It was one thing after another, and then we met with Barry Braun from XR in Bristol, and Barry said, I think I could work with you guys at North Wilkesboro, and we could put on a race. And we started seeing the lights come on. In my mind, I was just thinking, I think we can do this. And our colleagues at Bristol Motor Speedway, we put dirt on Bristol and made it happen, and it was an amazing thing, and we've done it a couple of years now. And my whole team, I just can't say enough about our development team led by Steve Swift, and the can-do spirit of our whole team that makes things happen that a lot of people really don't have a vision for, and it's a really special thing when you can have a big idea that seems kind of crazy, and you can actually make it happen. But then, thanks to Governor Cooper and his willingness to invest in North Wilkesboro Speedway, things really started to snowball in a big way, and that's why we're here today, because all of those things that really seem impossible if you start 2 years ago have come together to make something really special happen. And we're going to be able to host race cars and race fans here in August and again in October, and then we're going to clean this place up and restore it while keeping the old style of the Speedway. I love old cars, but I like to make them resto mods, and this is going to be a resto mod of the Speedway. It's going to have all the cool old history, but underneath we're going to have plumbing that works and electricity that works, and we'll have a really safe and fun place that we can enjoy year-round. Racing, special events, you name it, it'll happen right here. So thank you all for your support. We look forward to seeing you out at our events. And Doug, take it away.
Thank you very much, Marcus Smith. Up next on our stage, my pleasure to introduce Secretary Reed Wilson of the Department of Natural and Cultural Affairs.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Governor, for your leadership in helping strengthen our economy and create jobs in all parts of North Carolina. It's great to be here today. I can't tell you how many times I've driven past this raceway, either on the way to hike in the mountains or to visit our son at Appalachian. He graduated a week ago, so we're feeling good. But to actually be on the inside of this storied racetrack is really special, and I appreciate all the work that people have done to make this day possible, and all the days ahead that we're going to work together on. The Department of Natural and Cultural Resources takes care of the things that people love about North Carolina: our rich history, our diverse arts and culture, our spectacular natural areas, and without a doubt, motorsports are a key element of North Carolina history and culture. Each one of our racetracks has incredible and sometimes colorful stories to tell. And each one of them has exciting opportunities to highlight that local history and culture, to attract tourism, boost economic vitality in nearby communities. And this is especially true given the significant investments in the budget to renovate, repair, and enhance facilities at 17 different tracks. This is going to be a huge step forward. Now, the state budget also charges my department with creating a moonshine and motorsports trail. This is exciting to us. To highlight the intertwined history of distilling and motorsports. And without question, moonshine and motorsports do go together. They are connected. And this project aims to instill a sense of pride and ownership in this unique aspect of our state's culture. The trail will help preserve motorsports and distilling history and culture and enhance those industries' economic strength going forward. How are we going to do this? We're going to develop educational materials. We'll promote racetracks and events and distilling histories in local communities. I think it's going to be a fascinating journey uncovering more and more places that we can highlight and show people around the state. Now, we're still in the planning phase. We're working with the governor's Hometown Strong initiative that helps rural communities around the state. We've met with folks from NASCAR and Charlotte Motor Speedway and people at this speedway, and we will be partnering with many other organizations around the state, both on the distilling side and the motorsports side. One thing I can assure you is that Wilkes County will be a site on this trail. There's no doubt about it. And we will launch the Moonshine and Motorsports Trail in January 2023. A lot of work to do between now and then, but it's fun, exciting work. And you may not know this, but 2023 is actually officially the year of the trail in North Carolina. So that covers physical trails, hiking trails, but also cultural trails like this one. And so we'll be working with all sorts of partners around the state to highlight outdoor recreation, but also our cultural trails, our history. The whole point is to drive tourism in local economies and get people out to these places. So we look forward to working with you on this particular project, but also the entire Moonshine and Motorsports Trail going forward. Again, thank you all for having us today and all the work that's gone into this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reed. Moonshine and Motorsports. He might have a first-hand story later on. Richard Childress is here, by the way. So. That's the sound of the bus, Richard. All right, up next, let's please introduce the Deputy Secretary of the State Department of Commerce, Jordan Witcher. Jordan, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of our Secretary of Commerce, Michelle Baker Sanders, it's just an honor to be here on a beautiful day in Wilkes County, North Carolina, and to be here amid the revitalization of the North Wilkesboro Motor Speedway. I don't have to tell anybody here about the invigorating energy of race day, but being here today, you can really feel that energy in this county, in this space, coming back. Earlier this year, Governor Cooper proclaimed North Carolina to be the center of the college basketball universe. But we know here that North Carolina is also king when it comes to racing. And so we're grateful to celebrate the rich legacy of motorsports and the birthplace of NASCAR. North Carolina has tracks like this and tracks like the Charlotte Motor Speedway and dozens of racetracks statewide, and their paved tracks and their unpaved tracks and their dirt tracks and ovals and drag strips and short tracks like we are here in North Wilkesboro. And North Carolina is home to the NASCAR headquarters and the Hall of Fame. And 90% of NASCAR's race teams are based right here in North Carolina. So there's no doubt at all that NASCAR and motorsports is a major industry and a major economic engine for our state. In fact, motorsports contributes $6 billion annually to our economy, employs thousands of North Carolinians, and has dedicated training programs throughout North Carolina at our outstanding colleges, universities, and technical schools. And we're very excited to celebrate that partnership. Earlier today, our Department of Commerce announced, as Secretary Wilson mentioned, grant awards of more than $45 million to help 17 motorsports venues across the state recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. And that includes an $18 million investment right here in the legendary North Wilkesboro Speedway. I want to give a special shout out to a member of the Department of Commerce team who's not here today, but Mark Poole, the director of our Commerce Finance Center, took this charge and dove right in with local governments across the state, including here in Wilkes County, to really make this happen and to deliver these funds in a way that's going to promote the industry and show return on investment for North Carolina. This Motorsport Relief Fund will enhance the visitor experience at each of these venues, help revive this favorite pastime of North Carolina at this location and others through necessary improvements and upgrades. And the impact of racing events is really outsized in North Carolina, goes beyond the finish line. It helps fuel North Carolina's tourism industry, travel and hospitality industries, and really at the end of the day, support small businesses across North Carolina, which is what we're all about. We often call economic development and workforce development a team sport. And more than ever, we recognize the role that we each play in helping North Carolina increase its resiliency against future pandemics, and that includes our economic resilience and the resilience of our tourism industry. Each person, each partner, each organization represented as a partner in helping propel North Carolina forward. So we're proud to partner with everybody here today to create more jobs in this industry and continue to watch this industry grow and thrive as we emerge from the pandemic. I appreciate the vision of everybody here today and the investment in North Carolina's motorsports industry. The passion here really shows that everybody's engines are revving and excited to move on to the next stage. And soon we're going to be able to get past all this and put this pandemic in our rearview mirror once and for all. Thank you guys for having me today. Look forward to seeing full grandstands and checkered flags here in August and October. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the governor of North Carolina, Roy Cooper. Mr. Cooper.
What a day this is, folks. I am so glad to be here. I feel like it's a culmination of a lot of hard work. Glad to be in Wilkes County. Terry Persons, I remember you and I talking about the rejuvenation of the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and here we are a number of years later with it actually happening. I appreciate the fact that my administration has come together to work on this. You heard from Commerce, you heard from Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, but you also have here today our Budget Director, Charlie Perouse. Charlie, stand up, if you will. Let me tell you, Charlie is a NASCAR lover. He would drive this way and would get out and actually would look at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And as we talked about how to rejuvenate after this pandemic, we came up with the idea of investing in our speedways and dragways across North Carolina because they are such a fabric of who we are as North Carolinians. So Charlie, thank you for your good work and for helping to pull all this together. And Jeffrey Elmore, thank you for your work in the state legislature. It took all of us together. It took Republicans and Democrats and everybody in between to come together to do this. Mayor, you and the local government officials and the economic developers and just people in the community who are willing to come out here and volunteer and pull up weeds and sweep up things and get this place ready for some racing. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be outstanding. You know, I'm a Presbyterian elder, so I'm charged with finding something good out of something bad, okay? This pandemic was bad, but I'll tell you, we worked closely with race officials. Marcus, thank you for continuing to work with us, and you kept racing alive through all of this. And when it came time for recovery, we thought about one of the very best ways to invest in our people, use American Rescue Fund investments to invest in our economy and jobs and tourism, coming to a place like the North Wilkesboro Speedway and making a significant investment, going to a place like the Rock and making a significant investment and bringing it back because we know that it can bring joy to people, but it also can put money in people's pockets. So Richard Childress, thank you for that ride around the track and no rubbing the wall or anything. It was outstanding. I appreciate that. Harry, honored to be here with you today. And we have so many legends in this state that we can say, hey, we got you back. I'm really excited about our Moonshine and Motorsports Heritage Trail. As many of you know, I was Attorney General before I was governor, and that's the chief law enforcement officer of the state. And I invited attorneys general from all over the country to come to North Carolina. The chief law enforcement officers of every state came to North Carolina, and I decided I was going to have them at the NASCAR Hall of Fame Museum. They needed to see about it and learn about it, and so I called up my buddy Humpy Wheeler. I said, Humpy, you've got to kick this thing off for us. And he said, yes, sir, I will. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. Humpy gets up with all these law enforcement officers out there. He pulls out his bag. He's got his mason jar full of clear liquid. He puts it up on the table, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it all started. So whether we like it or not, it's part of the heritage. And that heritage trail is going to be exciting. It's going to bring tourists, not only from all over this country, but from all over the world. And they're going to get to see top flight racing right here at North Wilkesboro. Let's celebrate this anniversary. Let's celebrate this racetrack. We got you back, North Wilkesboro. Thanks so much.
We got a special gift for you, Governor, a presentation to commemorate this special event and to thank you for your incredible support of North Wilkesboro Speedway. And it's a classic retro jacket with your name on it and the logo of North Wilkesboro Speedway. You can wear this in style, and it'll throw you back to the great days of North Wilkesboro's beginning.
I got
Yes,
this
sir.
right now.
All right. We have it fitted just for you. Oh, yeah. I mean, perfect. Look at that. All right. Yes, you are.
So you may have noticed my shirt today, the Winston. I was the Grand Marshal in the year 2000 at the Winston, 22 years ago this month. Dale Jr. beat his dad that day. Dale came in first. Dale Sr. came in third. Dale Jarrett came in second. It was a triple Dale day. It was wonderful to be part of racing on that day, and to wear this jacket proudly is going to be exciting.
That's a good looking jacket.
Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks to everyone for being in attendance here today. Before I turn it over to Scott, her name's been mentioned like a half dozen times. Where's Terry Parsons? Stand up, let everybody know who you are. She's been one of the people behind all this. Thank you, Terry. Thanks for all your great work. Scott Cooper, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Doug. Doug, we really appreciate you playing host for us today on a very special day. If this microphone's not working, I'll just speak louder. How about that? Very quickly for everyone, we have a